What's up y'all, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hello and welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a series on my channel that I started as a way to get some use out of the older palettes in my collection. So every Thursday, that is what we do. We sit down and we play with a palette that y'all have picked out and we create a look, and I have really been enjoying this. I love this series so much, and y'all seem to really be enjoying it as well. But if you're new here and you're unfamiliar with how this works, let me fill you in before we jump into this video. So every Sunday I post a bonus video here on my channel. It's just footage of me going through my collection and pulling the 4 palettes that you'll have to choose from. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but if you're curious to see in my collection how the thought process works, it is there for your viewing pleasure. But from there, I post a poll over my community section. It has a name of each of the palette, a picture of each one as well. I give you a few days to vote, and that brings us to here. Now, last week we had a tie. And that was a lot of fun because we don't do ties here. I ended up creating a look with each palette. Please don't do that every single week though, because that was a lot of work. But we didn't have a tie this week. We had a clear winner, and as you already know from the title and the thumbnail, it is the Tiny Marvels palette from Sydney Grace in collaboration with Thompson, and I'm really excited to play with this one. It has been a while since I've pulled out this palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the formula in here. I love the shimmers in here. The color story is just out of this world, and I'm excited to create with it. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in just a little bit, prime my eyes, and start creating a look. All right, let's start creating our look with this palette. So I think I really want to play with like this green right here, and this gold is calling to me as well. I have never played with this gold eyeshadow in this palette. I don't know why. It's absolutely beautiful, but from what I can remember, I've never put it on my eyes, so I definitely want to use it today. Normally when I dig into this palette, I go for this quad over here, and I want to do something a little bit different. So let's go ahead and start out with this green shade right here. This one is called Mantis. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up with a BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm going to just start to fluff this into the crease of my eye, build up the shape and definition that I want. Nothing too crazy. I think I want to kind of keep this not fully pigmented, but not a soft wash either, kind of somewhere in between. So I'm really going to blend this out. Now, I remember when this palette came out. I know it was 2020. I can't remember if it was like before COVID or right during COVID. I want to say it was during COVID that it came out, because I remember I was not working and I hit like a beauty YouTube rabbit hole. I went down big time. Now, I had already been watching a lot of content creators here on YouTube. I watched Candy Johnson, Kristen Leanne. I know there was Jaclyn Hill, Laura Lee, Manny MUA. I think the first person that I ever watched here on YouTube was actually, what was her name? Tiffany D, that was her name. I don't know how I came across her. I don't remember what I was looking up, what I was trying to watch. I don't know if it was a like YouTube tutorial or what it was, but she was the first one, and then from there I started to get recommendations of other people, and that's how I stumbled across Thompson. And I remember her doing her reveal video. She was so incredibly excited. Like, it was infectious how excited she was, and she explained the cover art, the color story, everything came from inspiration of her tattoos and bugs and everything that she loved. And I just thought it was so cute and unique. I did not have a lot of color in my collection, and I thought this was such a colorful palette. And looking at it now, it's not nearly as colorful as what I typically go for, but it still has these beautiful pops of color. You can absolutely take it more neutral, and it's just a beautiful palette. But I was so excited for it. I did not purchase it on launch because I was not working at the time. COVID shut everything down. Salons were not open, which is why I think it happened during COVID. But again, I could be wrong. But this was like my first official indie brand purchase. Well, maybe not, because I know I had the Tati palette at that time. At least I think that came out before this. I can't remember the timeline of everything. It all kind of happened around the same time, but this was one of my first indie purchases. Okay, let's jump into this shade down here. This really pretty like mid-tone brown. I think this one is a little murkier than what I want to go for. It's absolutely beautiful, but we're gonna go with this one. So this one is called Death Moth. I'm gonna pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO6 and I'm gonna put this in my outer corner. I think I'm gonna bring it onto my lower lash line as well. What I was saying was, I remember when this palette came out and how excited I was about it, how colorful I thought it was, and I had no idea what I was doing when I got this palette. I remember watching tutorial after tutorial on this eyeshadow palette, especially from her, and she just opened my eyes to a new way of playing with color. I feel like at that point, all of the people that I was watching were really playing with neutral eyeshadow. Very few of them were going in with anything bright and colorful, with the exception of Candy Johnson. I absolutely loved her, but it intimidated me is really what it did. I wore pretty much the same eyeshadows all the time. I had a few eyeshadow palettes in my collection at that time, but they were all very neutral, and I tend to do like the same thing. I did like something really light and really neutral all over my lid and a little something in my outer corner. I didn't do anything fun on my lid. I wasn't doing pops of color, anything like that, and this one I feel was like what led me down that path, because I remember putting the purple on my eyes and I was like, oh, that is absolutely stunning. I want to put purple on my eyes every single day, and I just love it. I love this palette. I think it's beautiful. You can still get this palette, which is why we're playing with it. Sydney Grace did not discontinue it. It is on their website available for purchase, and all of the proceeds go to her family. All right, so I'm going back in with that green shade Mantis. I just picked up a little bit extra on that first brush that I used, and I'm going along the edges to kind of reiterate that color anywhere that the brown kind of took over. And I'm gonna bring it down onto the lower lash line as well, kind of blending out that brown a little bit and bringing it all the way over to the inner corner. Let's go ahead and deepen up this outer corner just a little bit. I don't want to take it too dark, but I like to have a little bit of depth and definition in my outer corner. So I'm going to go in with this shade down here. This one is called Spider. It's this really pretty, like almost browned out purple shade. It's not a true brown, but it's also not a true purple either. But I'm going to pick this up with my BK Beauty 211, and I'm just going to very lightly start to pop this right in the outer corner and bring it down to the very outer corner of my lower lash line as well. Like I said, I don't want it to take over this look, but I like to have that little bit of drama out there. But I want to hear from y'all, like who was the first person that you watched on YouTube that kind of led you into the beauty community, kind of got you going, inspired your love for makeup, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you're new here and you didn't watch YouTube back then. That's okay as well, but I want to know. I also want to know, like, what was your first indie eyeshadow palette purchase? Like, what is that one palette that just kind of opened up your eyes to the indie world and made you love it? All right, for the lid, we're gonna go into this really beautiful gold shade right here called BB. Like I said, I don't think I've ever played with this one before. I know I've swatched it out. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I can't for the life of me figure out why I haven't, but we're gonna put that all over the lid and see what it does. So I have already primed my eye with my NYX glitter primer per usual. I use this every single time I use a shimmer. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up with my finger. Oh my gosh, like look at how beautiful that is. And we're just going to put this all over the lid. I'm going to bring it all the way over to the inner corner. I'm going to bring it over to where that matte starts out here, and I am going to kind of like go back and forth and blend it over here just because we don't have anything else that I can blend that together, and I think it's going to mesh into that brown really, really nicely. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. For the inner corner, we're going to go into this shade right here called Fire Butts. This is my favorite shimmer in this palette. It is so, so beautiful. Let me show you a little swatch of that right there. It's like this really pretty, like almost antique-y gold shade. It has like a green undertone to it. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think it's going to bring out the green and gold in this look absolutely beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush that I use for my inner corner pretty much every single time. I am going to spray this with some MAC Fix Plus so I don't get any fallout and I get maximum color payoff. And we're gonna pop this right here in my inner corner. Ooh, that is so pretty. And I'm gonna drag it over along my lower lash line just a little bit, kind of fading it into everything, melting everything together and getting one seamless look. Alright y'all, so this is going to complete our look with the Tiny Marvels palette, and I think this is absolutely stunning. Y'all, that BB shade on the lid, why didn't anybody tell me how gorgeous this was? Because I love it. It is so reflective, so smooth. It's not shifty or anything like that, but I just love what it added to this look. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But let me go ahead and show you what I used to finish up this look so we can go ahead and close out this video. In my lower waterline, I went in with a ColourPop cream gel liner. This is in the shade Can Do It. I just thought it would really kind of tie in that gold shade on my lid, bring the entire look together. And then I lined my lid with my Lancome Ultra Precise Waterproof Liner. This is in the shade Matte Syrup Brown. It's just a brown liquid liner. And then I went in with my YSL Lash Clash Mascara in the shade Brown as well. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I think it's beautiful. I am so glad that y'all picked this palette and I got to create this look. But let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit and close out this video. Alright y'all, so that is going to complete this week's Throwback Thursday video. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did. I had so much fun digging into this palette and creating this look. I love the way that it turned out. I'm excited I get to wear it for the rest of the day, and I had forgotten how much I love and adore this palette. The color story in here is so good. The formula is beautiful. The shimmers are so metallic-y and smooth on the lid. They have such a good reflection to them, and the shade BB may be my new favorite shade in this palette. I love the way this looks on my eyes, but I definitely see some other looks that I want to create with this palette, so who knows, we might see more from her in some upcoming shorts on my channel. But I want to hear from y'all. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. What do you think of the look? Did it inspire you to recreate it? Do you have this palette? If you don't, do you plan on picking it up? Also, if you have any suggestions for palettes to pull for the next week, let me know down in that comment section. I am always more than happy to pull them if it's still available. But let's have that conversation, light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.